All right, so this is going to be a continuation of last week's video, sort of. I didn't put out a video last week because last week I was at 850 Speed Shop, bike night for Thunder Beach. We did a lot of work on the engine. There's a little news about the engine that is good and bad in a way. So the engine is actually not here right now. I had to leave the engine in Panama City at 850. We got it apart and in pieces, and we ended up breaking one of the head studs off because it was locked in there good. We tried to drill it and tap it out, and we're unsuccessful. So it is gonna have to go to a machine shop to get that one head stud drilled and tapped out, which isn't that big of a deal. They'll put a helicoil in it and we'll move on. I did get a bunch of parts though, so there's a bunch of fueling stuff. Cam chest, oil pump, lifters, push rods, push rod tubes, cams, that whole thing. Still have a bunch of parts over here. Still have a bunch of parts over there. I want to talk about these. So I was not gonna do a cam or a big bore kit on it. I was gonna keep the 88. It turns out Vaughn had a set of jugs, so I traded in my jugs and some money for some bigger jugs. I'm about to buy pistons, so we're going big bore. We're doing 96 on the engine. These heads and stuff, I got to get new valve seals put in those next week. I found a local place. This has not changed any. The goal of today though is to get this naked down, the trans out. I'll pull the carburetor off where I left it. The original intent was to flake the frame and have it painted. The local guy that I've talked to kind of steered me away from that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna scuff it all up and paint it back black. But I say that to say I found somebody that's gonna do a sick paint job on this tin set and fix the dent and the little crease in the fender. So that'll be good. He's gonna fix that, paint it, but he's gonna walk me through touching this frame up, which is gonna be good because it can get done faster and way cheaper than it would cost for him to paint it or to get it powder coated. And I don't have to pull all that wiring out. I can tape it up and scuff it, and I'll paint it, and it'll be back into this condition before too long. And then motor can go back in, tins can get painted, and it will be rideable again. It will not be completely done, but it will be rideable. And what I mean by completely done is some small things. Forks may need to get rebuilt at some point. You know, pegs and other stuff will have to get done. I do have this sick 2-in-1 where, you know, the motor should be, so there's that. But the purpose of today is to get this down the rest of the way as a roller. So the trans will come out. I don't know if I have to take the swing arm off or not to have that happen, but we will find out. So this is gonna be a roller so I can pressure wash the crap out of it, clean all the gunk off, and then I can take some red Scotch-Brite to it and clean up some of this rusty, crusty. So like, I got a new one of these, but in here, we're gonna clean this up, repaint it, all this where it's just like crusty. Will all get cleaned up. It's not bad under the tank. So like this stuff will get cleaned up, which is not that big of a deal. So we'll clean that up, scuff it, put a new fresh coat of Vivid Black on it, and I'll be happy. It'll be much cheaper, and I won't have to redo all this wiring, just some of it. I'm gonna clean this up. yeah, so I'll clean some of this up. What I mean by small stuff is I'll probably end up putting another set of risers on it eventually. These will definitely get replaced because look at that, that's just grody. Same thing with this, is just grody. So those will get replaced sooner rather than later. I got a new headlight coming in, you know, little stuff, but I want to get it back running again where I can ride it again and give it immortal hell. That way it is not in this kind of condition, because this makes me sad when it ran when I bought it. So I say all that to say, I'm going to cut this video. I am going to try and get the rest of this out, and then I can take it outside, pressure wash the snot out of it, and get all of that nasty off of it, and then we can roll on from there. Get this, I'm trying to get this pulley up, or I'm trying to get this belt off, and I think I think the pulley like split, the rear ring off the pulley just like fell out. I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be like welded to that, but now it's like that. I am thinking there's probably a chain conversion in the future of this thing now. All right. The transmission is out. That was probably the hardest thing I've done out of this whole ordeal. Yep, the belt's off, the axle's out. I'm about to take the shocks off and the swing arm. Carb's gonna come off. I'm just gonna undo it from up here. And then I'm gonna bag all of this up and bag this up, and I'm rolling it right out there, and I'm gonna shoot it with degreaser and pressure wash it down. This thing is disgusting. Disgusting. So that's gonna be a fun cleanup. I think I was watching Gastown Garage. I think I'm gonna take this off and clean the bottom of that out, because he said that it gets nasty. But we are getting there. It's almost time. I can't believe I got this far. All right, time to keep going. Alrighty, the wiring harness is out. I didn't really want to do that, but there it is. That was the last thing I worked on. Pulled the wiring harness out. I'm about to take this off. This is all good. This is really all good. I'm gonna pull the swing arm off, which will pull the shocks and that. That's going outside. It is probably as taken apart as it's gonna get. All right, I know this thing ain't seen the light of day since I drug it in there. When it went into the shed, it was a running piece of equipment, and now it's just a frame. I'm gonna spray it down with some degreaser and see if we can get it clean. Look at this. Look at that. Ugh. All right. All right, final update for today. She's naked. That's all I'm doing. The wiring harness is out. I sprayed her down and wiped it all down. I got to figure out what I'm gonna do with the frame, because I don't know what route I wanna go. I think I'm gonna scuff it and paint it myself, and then have Gordon at Flaked Paints do my tins. So this is it for now. I'm all dirty and nasty, but this is part 3. This is a 2-part kind of thing, because last weekend I spent at 850 Speed Shop working on the engine that is not here anymore, that's still over there. So when I go back over there, I think I'm gonna drop these tins off, go pick the engine up. Well, we'll have to finish with some of this stuff. So like the jugs and then the cam plate and all cams and all that stuff will go back in, heads. And then drop the tins off. Hopefully I can have the frame back to where I want it by then. Then when I get the motor done, the motor can get plopped back in. Transmission will already be cleaned up, so it'll go back in. I'll have the wiring harness back up together. And it'll get back on the road, hopefully, pretty quick. So this was part 3, all done for today, covered in grease and oil. But the crusty FXDX is not crusty anymore. So stay tuned for part 4. I don't know, I'll probably be sanding on the frame and maybe going to Panama City to drop tins off and pick the engine up. So stay tuned for that. Peace.